You know, it's all about me gaining information when I'm out here, trying to immerse yourself in the now.
In the quiet pre-dawn hours, Michael Coyne is on a walk he takes day after day, a walk toward a rising sun.
Everything changes at 5 a.m. You know, there's no outside noise. It's very raw, very real. You know, I don't know how to put it another way. It's a much different experience than being out there at any other time of day.
It's something he's done throughout his life, as a boy with his beach-loving father growing up in Scituate, and throughout his adult life. But when the COVID pandemic hit, something changed.
I think that was the catalyst for, I think I'll take a photograph this morning. And then that became 2 photographs, then 3 or 4. And I remember saying, oh my gosh, we're at, 100 photographs right now. It's 100 days in a row. Never thinking it was going to really keep going. Then suddenly it was a year, then 2 years. Now it's over 5.
Yes, Michael Coyne hasn't missed a sunrise in more than 5 years, recently passing 1,900 consecutive days and counting, capturing that moment when the sun crests the horizon. Whether he was traveling to Iceland or Colorado, D.C., or Arizona, or the morning after hip surgery, he hasn't missed a single day.
It's just become the fabric of who I am. You know, there's no second thought to it. You know, I'm up every day somewhere between 3:30 and 4. I get a lot of work done before I leave the house, and then I just go.
He takes a series of photos each morning, although he is quite adamant he is not a photographer. His real work happens here, in his studio, where he paints the sunrises that strike him as special, meaningful. His morning sojourns always by the water.
I feel like we're all bound by water, and it's the connecting thing between all of us. I try to immerse myself in the experience, and the experience for me just evolves around water, and always has.
Coyne recently printed 1 photo of all the sunrises to date, most captured near his South Shore home. It is an impressive array, even more so when displayed all together.
Pillars, chandeliers, classical art, this house has it all.
Chronicle first met the Scituate painter back in 2002 when he was painting murals, from in-home projects that could take years to the sports history piece that once adorned the Boston Garden. Now, the Sunrise Project has taken an unexpected turn.
It's just like when I go out every morning, I don't know what I'm going to see, what it's going to be about. I don't know what's around the next bend, because that's all this is experiences, and I don't want to miss one of them.
He painted a sunrise early in the pandemic as a gift for a nurse whose first day on the job was in a COVID ward and left it on her doorstep. And that idea to memorialize certain days has grown, not unlike a rising sun.
More and more people have found out about that, so I get commissioned to go out on days and mornings and paint the sunrise for a particular day. Sometimes they're weddings, sometimes it's the birth of a grandchild, anniversaries. It runs the gamut.
Chronicling life's memorable moments by capturing how those special days begin, an unanticipated turn in a lifelong career as a painter and nature lover, drawn to the water, comfortable in the still of an early morning, and sharing that through his painting. This is an escape from sort of the loudness of our lives. You almost forget that this exists out here.
I don't. I feel like a lot of people might, and maybe that's what I'm here for, is to kind of remind people there's something else, a different way of life. I think that a lot of people want this or strive for this. It's nice to know that it's still here.
I mean, just so beautiful. And Michael's streak continues. Since we met him last spring, he has surpassed 2,200 straight days of photographing the sunrise. It's just incredible. 6 full years.
It's unbelievable. And Michael's always been an early riser, he tells us. So even if it wasn't for the streak, he probably would be up early in the morning, near the ocean somewhere, which he loves. But even when he's out of town, he always tries to have some element of water in what he captures. So whether it's snow or ice or a stream or whatever. But all of the photos, wherever he is, are spectacular.
Spectacular.